And, well, it takes is just a simple tap of the thumb. You know it. It's all over. It's all over. I don't even. Oh, are these going to come on? Oh, look at that. A little bit more. So much lurking in the shadows here. Oh man, what a night! I'm out here doing a little above ground work here at Hypercube Labs, going around the compound, just making sure everything's okay, trying to keep everybody in check. And well, sometimes getting up here and watching the pipes, yeah, this is just not going to be enough for me. Yeah, so maybe I'll just talk to you. Is that all right? You think you can make that? You can make that happen? They're going to call me on the radio, They're going to be like, hey, Dr. Faux, is everything okay up there? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. But I'm going to have to do that every once in a while. Got to find out what it takes, I guess, to get people on here. Who's doom scrolling and is going to stop? I already have a dismal subscriber count. I haven't even hit 1,000 yet. Can you believe that? Like that YouTube page for Hypercube Go has been up for like a decade now. And while a couple of videos have like 1,000 views or so or like that, it's really hard to get those subscribers. What is that ratio? I don't even know. But I anticipate that we're going to get some traffic over the next couple of weeks and months, because I guess the big announcement is that Time for the Show, Time for the Movie, has been approved. It's been approved by the big swollen eyeballs over at OSI 74. And I'm really excited. The movie's gotten picked up, and a lot of people that haven't seen it, which is 99.99999 repeating percent of the world, hasn't seen it. So yeah, I'm excited. My movie's gonna get out there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if that's going to bring any more people to Hypercube. I really hope it does, even though I don't know what I would do with more people coming to Hypercube. For so long, it's just been, the Dr. Faux Club, and it was just me. And over the past couple of years, I've found people that I want to collab with and hang out with, chillax, kick back and slack, light up a stogie, roll a fat one, blow some bubbles out of the bong. Oh, I said the B word. Can't say that on the internet anymore, can we? I don't even know. I've already got a guidelines strike on my channel for Time for the Show, for the podcast. And that is incredibly aggravating, because I have over 200 episodes of this show that I need to archive. And I'm getting content strikes, not for copyrighted material, but for things that we say in the show. And that's really aggravating, because all of these episodes that I've gotten flagged for have already been uploaded. They were uploaded years ago. And so I don't know if maybe the old videos are grandfathered in under the old content policy or what, but I know that the Hypercube Go channel cannot be monetized. It will never be able to be monetized. So I would have to create a second channel just for monetization. And I'm already going through arbitration over music that was used in the movie. There is a copy of the movie on YouTube, but it's not available to the public while it's been doing, this is the gesture that I'm making, during the film festival circuit. A couple of film festivals are like, your movie doesn't need to be out there. And I get that. They don't want to preload an audience and stuff like that. Like, oh, yeah. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, fuck you. If people want to see it and they're willing to pay for a ticket to come in and see it, let them see it. What's the difference? I guess because they really want people to come. It's like, well, if it's a bunch of stuff people have already seen, we don't want to watch it. So we've pretty much finished the film festival circuit out of I don't know, maybe 15 film festivals that we submitted to, which ran us up several $100s worth of fees. You got to enter all of these. So yeah, I would say maybe close to $700 or $800. We submit the film. The film gets reviewed, and then they bring it on. And the movie it has been in 2 film festivals. There was one, I believe they were interested. Let's see, that's them. I told them, I said it was going to be 22 all clear. I'm going to have to take care of 22 tonight. Praise Bob. But getting...
We are clear.
That's good, guys. You just keep on doing your thing there. But the movie is not for everybody. And it's a comedy film, which is already difficult to find a festival to submit it to. And on top of that, it's a comedy film that features a lot of crass, vulgar language and conversations. So I want to get it out to a bigger audience, and we did. We won 2 awards. We won the award for Best Classic Comedy Movie at the Poor Life Choices Film Festival this year, and we got an honorable mention from the Orlando International Film Festival, which I did not even expect us to get to an international film festival. And it was like 3 or 4 days worth of movies. And we were going to be on noon on a Sunday, and I made it. I didn't even think they were going to play it. When I got the honorable mention award for the movie, I figured that was going to be a way for them to say, hey, tell everybody you won an award and tell them to come to the film festival, but we're not going to show your movie. Here's your honorable mention. Thanks for submitting. But no, they showed it. And it was a big screen in I guess it was like a multimedia classroom. It wasn't like a big theater type classroom, but there was room for, I don't know, maybe 120 people that could sit in there, and we absolutely filled those seats. All 3 of us that showed up, and then one other person was there, and then there were 1 or 2 people. But throughout the movie, people would come in and they'd sit down, and I guess we had really good placement because we were the last movie that was going to get played before the shorts. And so everybody that had their short films submitted that were going to make it, they came in and they'd sit down for a few minutes. They're like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here, and they'd fuck off. Which, on top of that, you came in more than a third of the way or a halfway through the movie, so you're not really going to know what's going to go on. But there were people that came in late and they sat through it and they were laughing, and it was really wild because we were the only comedy movie. The guy that was sitting behind me in the audience said, yeah, last night I saw 3 movies about fentanyl overdoses, which I was like, well, invite them to this one. They'll love this one. But yeah, and we screened at a film, like a real film festival, and got an award. So we've got 1 more festival that we are plugged into, and we're waiting to hear back from. I won't say which one it is, but it's here in Orlando as well, and I really want to get the movie there. But because that's going to be the last one, and that's in December. The plan is within the next couple of weeks. I'm really hoping on the 4th of July we can get it up. But the movie will be streaming for free on OSI 74. If you haven't caught OSI 74, if you have a Roku, go and download it. It's got free movies and TV shows and cartoons and music. It's got a lot of stuff from the Church of the Subgenius. It's got Negative Land. It's got who's in the movie, the band Negative Land. They did their album. I'm trying to remember which one this one was. It might have been Escape from Noise in the late 80s, but the song, one of the songs off of that album, I won't say which, it does play in the movie. And if you're not familiar with Negative Land, basically they've been getting in trouble for like stealing sound and audio since like the 80s. They got in a big vat of trouble with the band U2 years ago. I think that was the early 90s, and U2 was releasing an album. So yeah, there's a book, the letter U and the numeral 2, um, and the albums. Uh, I love Negative Land. I really like them. I've gotten to know some of the guys better over the years. We're not pals or buddies, but we know each other. And I was really happy that like Mark Hostler sent me a message, hey, good luck with your movie and stuff like that. But they wrote a song, and it's a song that I'm pretty sure doesn't have any sampling in it. And I used that song in the movie, and I got a copyright strike on a Negative Land song. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And so I had to email the people that had put a strike on. I'm like, we have permission. I have this email, this, that, and the other. The first appeal, they denied immediately. They wouldn't let me have it. So I had to appeal it again, and I need to check on it. So there's stuff like that, and then, the stuff that we talk about in the movie, I can't monetize this channel. There will never be any monetization. And I haven't uploaded back episodes of Time for the Show because I needed to clear my content creator strike, or whatever the hell they call it, bad language strike, whatever. We might have said something about COVID or unaliving yourself, whatever. I have to play the fucking algorithm to sit here. But this is where everybody is. You're like, oh, you just put it on your own website. I'm like, well, yeah, but no one's going to my website. Nobody goes to Nickelodeon.com to watch SpongeBob. They all come here and they watch 8-second clips, memed into a 60-second short. And so it's exhausting trying to do these things. So having OSI 74 willing to take us on, bring us under their wing, and help us out and protect us, and it's a way that everybody can watch it. So yeah, you can watch OSI 74 on Roku. Mr. Lobo, he's the HMFIC of OSI 74. You can follow him and his show Cinema Insomnia, where he watches misunderstood movies. And I'm pretty sure he does the pre-show here on YouTube. And I think he was watching the movies. I think there was like a live stream where you could watch on Twitch, and that was running for a while. But just as of this week, I went to go check the Twitch page, and they're banned. Big surprise. And even if the movie's like public domain, it's probably a sting of music that they never licensed in the first place 50 or 60 years ago that they're getting busted on. That's what it always comes down to. It's the audio. It's the audio. So I've been seeing people poke in here. 5 people. Hi, everybody. Thanks for peeking in. I don't know if I have to turn on the chat or something like that. I think it's on, but feel free to say hi. Like to see who's poking around in there. But yeah, this is the life of a burgeoning amateur filmmaker. And I've been doing short films and stuff like that for like 25 years now, and I'm getting older. It's catching up with me. It's harder to look as cute and pretty as I used to be. But now I've got the movie under my belt, and we're going to go out this October, and we've got another project that we're going to film. And so if you want to, be in the background of a movie, subscribe to the channel, keep in touch, and when I do the Nownthens and things like that, I'll give you more information as it comes. I believe we're waiting on like confirmation on one more place that we're shooting. But this next project is not going to be a movie. It's going to be a concert film and a documentary on the band that supplied the most music for Time for the Movie. which is Rubik's Cube, and you can find them here on YouTube. Rubik's Cube PA, I believe, is their handle. I'll need to check on all of this. I came in completely blind and unprepared. I'm supposed to be, hence being out here on the top level tonight. I'm supposed to go find a backdrop and go and recite my lines into the camera, and then I need to send that to Dr. Cosmac, who's supposed to edit it in to the OSI version of the movie. So I needed to come and say, "Hey kids, I'm Dr. Fox. You're watching Time for the Movie on OSI 74," and plug the Patreon, plug the Discord, stuff like that. But I'm actually waiting to meet somebody, and I was expecting them. What is this? It is 2:43 Eastern Daylight Time right now. We are in daylight time, right? Spring back, fall forward. Yeah. So yeah, it's nearly 3 a.m. here, and I was expecting this guy to come by 4.5 hours ago, and so I'm just sitting back, kicking it, and waiting. Normally, when I do like the Monday morning cancer stuff, and maybe I'll do that in the morning when I get home, I bust open a fresh pack of cigarettes and a big hot coffee, and just ramble incessantly for hours and hours and hours. I don't have any kind of notes in front of me. I have I don't have I don't really have anything in structure. This isn't time for the show, as horribly structured as that is. But I want to do that again. I'd been talking to my wife. I'm like, do you want to come on and do the show? We could do it live. We'd be in the same room together. And she seems open to that idea. She's been on the show before. But normally, any time that I have a project and my wife is helping me, she's in like a producer or technical role. And I think when we were back at Hypercube Labs 3, we're at 4 now, and 4 fucking sucks. But at the last place, I would stand and do the show, and those are the ones you can see in the videos on the channel. And I would stand, I'd be on the other side of the room, and she would sit there and she would do the control panel. She'd go from my camera to whoever I'm talking to online and bring up the pictures, and she'd play the music. And when she wasn't doing that, Flux Rutenberg was. And I haven't seen that goofy cracker in a while. So, yeah, I miss doing the show. I miss being able to interact with people and coming up with fun things to do. And I miss talking to my friends. I'm just very busy, I'm a full-time employed motherfucker, and but not my mother, my kid's mother. So I'm a dad. I'm a working dad, and I work overnights, and so anytime I have free time, I want to spend it with my family. I want to spend it with my wife and kid. I want to go mini golfing. I want to go to the park. I want to just do something other than sleep, and that's hard. It's hard. So I just want to keep creating. It's what I do. Even now, I'm just babbling into the ether. And if you weren't here listening to it, it would just be me doing this exact same thing, just without a camera facing at me. So, if you have any questions about the filmmaking process, or comedy writing, or podcasting, ask them in the chat, or ask me a goofy bullshit question, and hopefully I'll be able to see them, and we can stick around and get a few more folks in here. The amount of people that I see live streaming at 4 and 5 o'clock on a weekday morning from their car in a Walmart parking lot or something like that, and they'll have 500 or 600 people. I'm like, well, what are they talking about? And it's it's the same shit. I know the earth is flat, okay? I don't need to subscribe to your channel and learn all of that. I know how to turn lead into gold. I figured that shit out a long time ago. Um, other than that, what are we doing, kids? What are we doing? Ah, I've got about another 13 to 15 minutes before I'm sure someone bugs me on the radio. But if my buddy shows up, I'm gonna jump off. I might poke back on later. But this is our time. You and me. You've deserved this. You've been working hard. You're tired. No one's been listening to you. You deserve this. You are the one that is making all of the stride and all of the effort, and you're not getting the recognition that you deserve. So I'll give that to you. I'm here for you, my sweet babies. I'm the fun one. I'm not nice, but I am very fun. Listening to these chuckleheads on the radio just kills me. But movie. It's coming, and I'm really excited. You might not be excited, but I sure the heck am. It's hard writing and directing and starring in your own sci-fi comedy buddy movie road trip adventure film. And all those F words, though, they don't just appear on the paper by themselves. And interestingly enough, the movie has a mixture of like unscripted parts to it and scripted. And the majority of the movie is scripted. I would say there's probably about 15 minutes where it's just me and the co-star going back and forth unscripted. And yet, like, all of the heaviest language I wrote. So I know the film, if we were to submit it to something like the MPA, which, fuck that, fascist bastards, litigious bastards of corporate America, the Motion Picture Association, people that have pinned down filmmakers and producers like Lloyd Kaufman and Troma and so many more. I would say so many I can't even name, but honestly I just don't even remember their names. But it is a racket trying to get your movie licensed. The amount of money that you have to pay, it's thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars to get your movie rated. And hardly any theater up until I guess the past couple of years, like no theater is going to take an NC-17. They will not take an NC-17. They'll play R, but you can bring your kid to an R-rated movie if you're with them. That's pretty much the line. And we would get an R simply for the language. There is enough blood in the movie to maybe fill a thimble. It's all, any violence is very comical. It's very cartoony. But the nasty shit we say and the horrible crap that we talk about in the movie, it's gross. It's really gross. And how many times I've heard like people that have been associated in the movie, like peas. We know other people that are film directors and filmmakers, etc. And how many times is like, yeah, you just got to make it past that first joke. If you can make it past the first joke, you're gonna be okay. But it's like, I think by like it's either the 3-minute mark, maybe the 5, but it very likely is the 3rd minute. It's a rough one. All right, hi Evil Paul. Did you think about putting in some sacrificial content for the ratings gods? Because we never planned on, first off, again, fuck the MPA. Uh, I wouldn't want to have it rated. But sometimes I know, like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and some other stories that I've heard, and maybe Matt and Trey, maybe I'm just misremembering this, but they'll put stuff in the movie so that's so over the top, and it's just like, oh, that's an R. It's like, okay, well, we can chop a bit of that out. Like, okay, you took that out, here's your PG-13, and the movie's just as horrid and rancid as it was before they did that. If we were to remove anything, like we've got in the movie, there are segments where we do the podcast, we do time for the show in the movie, and we recorded it live on the road. And so there's about between 8 and 12 hours. I think at one point we counted 15, but I think a lot of that just included like test footage and stuff. But there's at least 10 hours, I would say comfortably, of Fid Chuli and I going back and forth in the car. So if there was anything in those segments, we could possibly pick things that are too much, that they're too edgy, and we could cut those out and swap it. But the rest of the movie, we can't. We really can't sacrifice anything, because the narrative is so interwoven into it, and that's on me. I wrote the fucking thing, so it all comes down to me. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? And I'm sure that is a reason we didn't get into several film festivals. But I think a large part of time for the show has always been about our freedom to express ourselves. We didn't start on YouTube. We started on an internet radio station called freethinkradio.com, which you can still hear reruns of classic Time for the Show episodes on Sunday nights. And if you want a show on Free Think Radio, just head on over, join the Discord, say hi to Dr. Ellis, be like, I want a show. He'll set you up. And you can say and do whatever you want. And they're licensed. You can play copyrighted music, and you can have your own show. And so that's what we did for easily the first 100 episodes, if not more. I don't really remember when we started coming over to YouTube. So when it comes to like sacrificial content for the ratings gods, it's just never been in our mind. And if somebody told us that we needed to take something out to get the rating, I'd more than likely just be like, well, just piss up your own ass, But moving forward, definitely with this next project that I'm doing, it's kind of being made like for YouTube. The idea is that we can chop it up and put clips up and things like that, and put the whole product up on YouTube. We don't want to limit the audience. We want people to be able to see it, because the band already has a really great following. Their live shows are incredibly energetic and chaotic, and I want to capture that and put it together. So I need to keep some stuff in like the TV 14 area, damn ass hell, crap like that. But I don't know if I could write any. There's not really anything written for this next movie except for like questions that we asked the band. If anybody's going to be writing anything, it's going to be after it's filmed, and that's going to be like what I'm narrating. If I end up doing the narration. But that's not a bad idea. But when it comes to the film festivals will not tell you. They'll just be like, you didn't make it in. And if you send them an email asking, hey, just curious, what didn't work, what didn't fit, they're not going to answer. They have hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 or thousands of hours worth of films that they're going to have to sit through and watch. And it makes me wonder how many film festivals made it to the 5 minute mark on my movie, and they're like, no, no. So we used some choosy language, and I remember while we were out there filming almost 2 years ago, I was like, am I really gonna say this? But the producer, he was like, no, just say it. You wrote it. If you don't want to say it, write something else. But I stand by it. I think I use a lot of the coarse and crass language carefully. It conveys emotion. It pushes the scene along. But we say words in that movie that I'm pretty sure you can't say on unfiltered YouTube. So what? I got to pay $100 a year for a Vimeo account to host one frickin' movie that no one's gonna watch. No one's gonna watch this movie. It's just made to be made. And if you're watching this and you'd like to see the movie, send me a DM or subscribe to the channel or something. It's coming. It's going to be on OSI soon. And you should be able to watch that through the website. I'm pretty sure OSI 74. Here, let me get that real quick. Two all clear. Praise Bob. But yeah, movies is bullshit. And I'd love to make something for Trauma. I would love to keep making stuff for myself. At the same time, I got to get paid. So that's why I have like a full-time job that goes into my that, other than paying for rent, that pays for my filmmaking career, air quotes. And there's so many things I want to do. I want to get back to making music. I want to do stand-up again. And even that's you gotta go to open mic 2 or 3 nights a week. I mean, you should be going like every night. I work nights, so I've got like 1, maybe 2 nights a week that I could go out and shop around my tight 5, which usually isn't too hard for me. But the idea is you can't just create 30 minutes and fall back on it. Like you gotta write a joke every day, and you should be writing more than one. I have a buzzer on my phone that goes off. It's like, hey, have you tweeted recently? Is that I set up? It's not the app. It's an alarm reminding me, like, have you tweeted? Are you keeping up with your social media? Did you write a joke? And for the most part, I might just retweet something and put a stupid comment on it, which those get more likes and views than anything. But yeah, you gotta maintain that social media just for your own promotion. You gotta have a Facebook page where people can follow you and not necessarily be your friend. You need a Twitter so you can just patooey your dick farts out into the network as soon as you got it. You need Grindr, so you have weird people hook you up with illicit substances and prostate massages. You need DoorDash because Uber Eats sucks. So you gotta stick with it. It is such an infuriating game. And years ago, when I was doing like the live music show, I was doing Dr. Faux and the Right Angles. There's you talk about sacrificial content. There were a couple of songs that I had written that was like, well, if we go here or there, we can drop this and drop this one in. I definitely did that back then. And I would try to have, like, maybe we have an extra cover song in rotation if we don't necessarily want to do one of the other songs. Because we were bear pokers. We went out, and it was a spectacle to see a live Dr. Faux show, and they were interesting. They were fun. I loved them. I had a blast. I wish I had gotten along with more people, and I made some really good friends and really good connections. And I did the band because my comedy sucked so bad. I don't think as much, which first off, don't think, hashtag that. But I don't think my jokes and my content were as bad as I perceived them to be years ago, but I would go through some of my shtick, my routine, my material, and somebody in the audience just every time are like, yeah, that guy's an asshole, you can't say that. And even though people in the crowd be like, dude, shut the fuck up, let him do his 5 minutes. Sorry. I just got so tired and fed up with that after a couple of months of it that I was working with some other people on another project, and we ended up forming a band. And those same jokes, that material, it ended up in my live sets. And it was, I guess maybe it was the energy that was different. Maybe instead of being on like a riser above the floor with one spotlight, when you've got a band behind you and you can rock out really hard, and then I could tell my jokes. I would come out, I would use like the same material I had in comedy clubs, and the room would go nuts. They loved it. Mind you, my rooms were only like 30 to 50 people on average. There were a couple of times where we played at bigger parties and venues, and we had a couple hundred there. But yeah, that's in the past, and more than likely it's not going to happen again. As much as I hate it, I'm a lousy instrumentalist, and I'm a lousy composer too. But I can write some good songs, I can write some lyrics, and I can sing them, despite, hearing me on here coughing and hacking every 20 seconds from what is more than likely a dying vape and air full of crud. It has been raining down here non-stop for weeks. Yeah, don't you want to hear that into a microphone? But this is like, this is my Dok Faux jacket. I've had this jacket since, I'm pretty sure before I got married. I believe I think I got married in this jacket. That was 9 years ago. And now I have, now I've got a kid who's turning 5. And I've been with my wife for 16 years. Holy crap, time flies by. So if you're, it doesn't matter how old you are, get out there and do something. You want to make a movie, make a movie. Get your friends together. You got a phone, go get yourself a couple of ring lights, and just get like one good microphone. One good microphone will make all the difference. Get yourself a Bluetooth one, get yourself a wireless lab system that you can plug into your phone or something like that, and just take your phone out and go record it. And then go download DaVinci Resolve and just start editing. Just start putting it together. Make short films. You want to make a movie? Start with short films. I had made dozens of charming, right? I'm going to close the door here. I'm going to bring the air down, because I think it might be a lot of crud in the air. But it makes something. There's a scene for everything. You're not going to go out and be Van Halen on the first time. But, hit your open mics. Find people to collab with. Write. That's the most important thing to do. Write it down. That is, and of course, the night I do this, probably because I don't have my fucking notebook here with me. I left my bag at home. But Is something funny? Tweet it. Get a, create a character with your friends, share access on Twitter, and so when you're all hanging out together, like, oh yeah, that one. Just anytime you have something funny, just try to tweet it. Even if no one reads it, even if no one likes it, you have a record of it. Get yourself, Google Docs. Just start writing your fucking jokes down. Carry a notepad with you and a pen like that. I have, yeah. I carry a fountain pen everywhere I go, so I know it's going to write in the notebook that I don't have with me. But you can do it. You can do it. Golly. Let's grab a drink of the good old Dr. Pee-Pee's here. Where you going? Give me that fizzy bubble water. Anybody can make a movie. And the thing is that they do. They do. And I am 37 years old. I am married. I have a kid. And I was able to put together a feature-length film. And on my first feature-length film, I got 2 awards. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And the people that are doing it now, they're less than half my age. The kids that are on YouTube now, they're 14, they're 15 years old. They don't even have to jump through the hoops that I did when I was that age and go and buy out all this hardware. I had like audio visual connectors, SCART capturing cards, things like that. I learned how to record on a tape-based camcorder, and then I had to funnel that into my computer with a series of cables and a dedicated capture card, and then use this ridiculous proprietary editing software. And I did that for years. And then I got to high school and I took TV production, and it was all, learn how to in-camera edit, learn how to use a microphone, learn this, that, and the other. And then going to edit on editing bays. I'm probably going to have to stop soon because I'm choking up really bad. And I might need to go to my car and get my inhaler. I just get so worked up talking to you guys. You make me feel so much better. And I believe in you. I believe in you. I do. I really, really do. I'm crying. I'm crying here. And it's not because my larynx feels like 40 grit sandpaper. No, I think it's just really bad allergies. But we're hitting the 45-minute mark. Well, hey, Evil Paul, thanks for your question. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go find my inhaler before I choke to death, and then I guess I got some more rounds to make, and I guess I gotta go film this intro. So thanks for watching. If anybody's still on there, or if you made it this far through, bless you, and subscribe to Hypercube Go. I think the button's down there somewhere. I don't know. I can't see it. Oh my God, I'm dying. All right, kids, have fun. I'll be back. Did it cut?